Oh, hi! Welcome back to Cooking with Stephanie. Right now, we're making a delicious raspberry and chocolate crumble cheesecake. Super easy and super inexpensive. What we're doing right now is taking pre-packaged chocolate chip cookie dough, taking about 2 handfuls of it, and throwing it in your mixing bowl. Now we're going to change this to a chocolate chip. Just going to throw a little bit of cocoa in there. And we're going to knead it with our hands. You want it to be a super chocolatey consistency. And you should get something that looks about like this. I like to eyeball it, but the recipe technically calls for teaspoon size. Now our oven is set at 350 degrees. You're going to take the rest of your cookie dough and put it back in your mixing bowl and mix that with the cocoa as well. This is going to be the delicious crust for your raspberry cheesecake. You're going to take a 9-inch spring-formed cheesecake pan. Make sure it's well greased. To help even out your crust, use a piece of wax or parchment paper and press down. There's our delicious crust. We're going to put that in the oven for about 15 minutes. Take another mixing bowl and use your Yoplait whisk. Now, if you come across the problem I had, your local grocery mart may not carry a raspberry flavor, but there's a trick to that. Just get a bit of chocolate juice since it is strawberry flavored. We're going to take a little bit of raspberry jello. Jello will also give it a stiff consistency that will really give it a firm, cheese-like characteristic. Just a little bit now. Now you're just going to whisk this all together. We're going to pop a few real raspberries in there for a good, surprising, juicy crunch. I'm just going to pop a few raspberries in there. It's okay if you crush your raspberries with your whisk. Add more raspberry flavor if you feel necessary. Okay, mix that in together. Now, we're going to set this inside the fridge to let it cool and stiffen up. While we're waiting on the cookie crust to cook, we're going to let this stiffen in the fridge, and then it's just a matter of waiting. Now that our cookie crust is done cooling off and baking, we're now going to spread our delicious raspberry yogurt spread over it. Make sure that's spread nice and evenly. Now for a surprise crunch in between your layers, you're going to crumble up your freshly baked cookies. And put it on top of your yogurt layer. These sure are delicious cookies. Now that you've added the second layer to your cheesecake, your chocolate chip cookie crumbs, we're going to add the Cool Whip to it. Just take your basic Cool Whip and plop that on right on top of it. Once you spread your Cool Whip all on top of it, you're going to let it freeze for about 3 to 4 hours. Just pop it on in. And now, a word from our sponsors. Welcome back. It's been about 3 or 4 hours now, and our cheesecake is firmed up, and it's ready to be drizzled with your delicious toppings, and almost ready to be served to your guests. Just take a little bit of Hershey's Simple Syrup, chocolate syrup, and we're just going to lightly drizzle that on top. Just a couple back and forth motions. Then we're going to top it off with some delicious raspberries. And finish it off with a handful of fresh blueberries. Now, doesn't that look delicious? Yum. Thanks for tuning in and watching Cooking with Stephanie. See you next time.